I always say health is wealth. Check this out.
People are going blind from Ozempic. Several studies have linked the shots to conditions that cause inflammation and block blood flow to the eye, causing severe and sometimes permanent vision loss. Now, researchers have detailed 9 new reports of U.S. patients who went blind after taking semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and Mounjaro, respectively. The experts said while the exact cause is unclear, drugs like Ozempic, rapidly lowering blood sugar levels, could damage blood vessels in the eyes, leading to vision loss. The researchers wrote in JAMA Ophthalmology last month that it's not clear exactly what could be causing the side effect. Last year, the American Academy of Ophthalmology issued a press release urging patients who have experienced vision loss while taking semaglutide to stop taking the drug and contact their doctor. However, the Academy did not recommend against taking the drugs altogether.
Reports say that 9% of Americans have diabetes and over 50% are overweight. Lose weight the right way, you guys. Don't use that stuff. What you want to do is get your metabolism under control. Peak metabolism activates an enzyme called AMP, which helps you reduce fat storage and breaks down fats more efficiently. Make sure.
Hey, Shalom. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutation, and blessings to the elect who firmly believe in Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Peace and blessings to the elect. I'm not sure what I'm going to entitle this lesson just yet. But as you can see, you know, the doctors of today, you know, are pretty much full of shit. You know, the doctors of today are pretty much full of shit. And you want to do your own research, you know, when it comes to, you know, health and wellness, you know what I'm saying? And prevention, you know, is always better than cure. That's why it's always good to just lead a healthy lifestyle, you know, when it comes to your diet. And that's why the Heavenly Father provided, you know, the dietary law, you know, because it's for us, you know, for his people, the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You know what I'm saying? You know, he gives us food to eat to prevent us from diabetes, to prevent us from catching cancer, to prevent us from receiving hypertension, you know, to prevent us from receiving high blood pressure, you know, and of course, everything in moderation. You know, like the scriptures say also, let me grab it real quick. The scriptures tell us not to be too greedy upon meats, right? You know, that's what we call good advice. And this is why, you know, the devil didn't want us to read the Bible, you know, the so-called white man. Let me start with this real quick. This is the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 37. I'm going to start at verse 28. It says, "For all things are not profitable for all men, neither have every soul pleasure in everything." So you got to do what's good for your body. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to, like, you know, food consumption, right? Herb consumption, you know, like the term everything ain't for everybody. You know, what you eat don't make me shit, so to speak, right? It says, "Be not unsatiable in any dainty thing, nor too greedy upon meats." Now, I just want to look up that word real quick. Unsatiable. Unsatiable. Well, they got it here, insatiable. All right. So it pretty much means impossible to satisfy, an insatiable hunger for success, right? Having an insatiable appetite or desire for something, right? So you don't want to have too much of a desire, you know, upon anything, you know what I'm saying? Because too much of anything is bad for you. So it says, "Be not unsatiable in any dainty thing, nor too greedy upon meats." That's right. So we don't want to be too greedy upon meats. You know what I'm saying? Especially the older that you may get in age. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, your system isn't as strong in breaking that stuff down. Not to mention, meats can also cause inflammation, right? So to your joints. That's where, you know, arthritis may come in. You know, you may, like they may mention, you could catch inflammation in the eyes that can deteriorate your eyesight. What else? You know, just anything with an itis, you know, that's just inflammation. And, you know, the spearhead of it is meats. That's why it's good to, you know, eat it, you know, sparingly. It says for excess of meats bringeth sickness, and surfeiting will turn into choler. By surfeiting have many perished, but he that taketh heed prolongeth his life. That's right. So it's about taking heed. You know, so the scriptures provide us the advice and the instructions, you know, to lead a healthy, balanced life, right? But here it is, once you find yourself listening to this devil, listening to this doctor, and when you look up doctor, it just means to falsify. You know, they can lead you astray because they don't even know better. You know, they got something called a Hippocratical oath that they take. You know, and they have in the hospitals have to meet a death toll every year to turn over a profit. But this is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 14. Let them alone; they be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into a ditch. That's right. So the doctors are blind. And here it is, you going to that doctor that's blind. Now y'all both falling into a ditch. But you more so because you're the subject. You know what I'm saying? Here it is, they feeding you with medication, this medication, that medication. One thing's canceling out the other. Now you need another medication. And next thing you know, you got kidney failure. Next thing you know, your lungs is collapsing. Next thing you know, your liver is damaged. Next thing you know, you got inflammation in your joints. You know, all kind of arthritis and madness. You know what I'm saying? Because the doctors, they're not here to cure you. You know what I'm saying? They're here to suppress, you know, whatever ailments that you got going on so you can come back. That's what they do. You know, but our people are stubborn. You know, our people are stubborn. You know, they don't want to, you know, balance things out. You know, they don't want to balance things out. You know, what's good, you know, the consuming your diet, you know, is like sea moss. You know, that's always good. Sarsaparilla, you know, that got a good, that's good for iron. You know, a lot of our people, especially those of the northern tribes, they suffer from anemia. They're anemic, you know, so to speak, right? You know, bladderwrack, burdock, you know, yellow dock, you know, gotu kola. Gotu kola is good for, you know, the brain function. You know, it's good to eat things like almonds, walnuts, you know, Brazilian nuts in moderation. You know, consume, you know, steel cut oats if you like, you know, just consume a good diet. You know, wild rice over, you know, a lot of brown rice and yellow rice and white rice, black rice and wild rice, good go-tos, you know what I'm saying? You know, because it doesn't have that gluten, you know what I'm saying? You want to stay away from foods that have that gluten, right? It says Isaiah chapter 9, verse 16, it says, for the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. That's right. So when you find yourself being led by these doctors of today, you know, you will be destroyed, you know, because like I said, they're not there to cure you. You know, when I used to work in a hospital, I was a patient transporter, and we'll take patients from from their room to their procedure or whatever the case is. And I remember a nurse giving me one of the charts, which is their folder, and on the front page it said OGK. So I asked the nurse, what does the OGK mean? And she says, only God knows, right? And I remember going into the emergency room. You see these string of doctors just on a computer, just Googling, you know, symptoms of what this particular patient may have. So they're doing things that you could do yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it just goes to show, you know, that this medical industry, you know, is not it. It's not it, man. And all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua for opening this truth unto us. This is the book of Job, chapter 13, verse 4. It says, but ye are forgers of lies. You are all physicians of no value. That's right. They're not valuable. You know, these physicians, so-called doctors, they're not valuable. Like I said, you know, they may be necessary, you know, perform a surgery or whatever the case is. They can get you by. They can get you to the next, you know, to the next day to day. But, you know, when you have ailments and they're subscribing, you know, medication unto you, it's best to not even take that medication. You know, a lot of times, you know, when certain people, you know, they get these surgeries and then they get prescribed medication, they find themselves getting hooked on it. And they become addicted. And what a lot of times those medications destroys your liver. Now you need another medication. So these physicians are that of no value. So you got to be mindful. You got to be careful. When you see yourself going to these doctors and these so-called physicians and things of that nature. Because they're not in your best interest. They're not in your best interest. So I came across that clip, on a gram, and decided to do a lesson on it. So, Lord willing, I've been edifying, straight to the point, let your words be few, comprehending much. So with that, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutation, and blessings to the elect. Shalom.